Welcome back, everyone, to another Eats Beat podcast, the most delicious podcast in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
This is a different Eats Beat podcast this week. We don't have a restaurateur, a chef. We have Aaron Carlson, Dr. Aaron Carlson from the UTA School of Public Health to talk about how to be safe when you're going to restaurants. Hello, Dr. Carlson.
Hello. Hi, Bud. It's good to see you.
The one reason that I think it'd be great to have you on the Eat Speak podcast because you like to go out and eat.
I do like to go out and eat. Yes, I do. And I read your column to be able to know where to go.
Well, that's a very polite guest who comes on and says that. So, well, before we even talk about how to dine safely, what are some of just so people know, what are the kind of places you like to go when you go out to eat? What are your favorite restaurants? What are the places you like to talk about in Fort Worth?
Places I like to talk about, Bud. My husband and I, our favorite go-to for just quick, always tasty carry out is Ashim's downtown Fort Worth. We like Ashim's Hibachi. We also do a lot of carry out from Spice on Magnolia. We like Thai food. I love Tokyo Cafe. I particularly love their okonomiyaki because it's hard to find that in the United States, and they do the best. Also, I love Samson's Deli on Camp Bowie for Ethiopian food. I think it's fantastic. And then when I need chocolate, I go to Race Street Coffee. I think that they're really under for some of their food and really all of their food, and particularly their chocolate. Now that we don't have Dude Sweet Chocolate in Fort Worth, it's really my go-to for great chocolate is Race Street Coffee. And then finally, the other place I frequent, at least on a weekly basis, is Stir Crazy Baked Goods. Stir Crazy Baked Goods on Magnolia, and they're great for catering. They're great for really anything you need.
Now, see, this is important. Steve, do you recognize some of those places? Do you?
Oh yes. Sounds like we got a real foodie on our hands here.
A total foodie, and that's why I thought it'd be great to talk to you about what's safe and not safe. What do you look for when you're going to restaurants? You know, this has been a time when people walk in and they look around and they go, well, is this okay? Is this not okay? There are all these orders from the state. Restaurants seem to some restaurants are trying really hard to follow them. Some restaurants are just kind of saying, well, you're on your own. What should customers look for when we're going in a restaurant? We really want to take care of ourselves and be safe. What should we look for?
Well, I think that a few things we should look for is, it was something that you mentioned that really stuck with me. And, you mentioned when we talked before, Bud, that you've been in restaurants where you've been maybe the only person in there, one of only a few patrons. And that's something I really want to stress is the bigger the building, the people, the safer you are. So if you want to dine out, then, and I encourage people who are comfortable with that. Everybody has their own tolerance for risk. So I don't tell anyone not to do it. It really depends on your own underlying health conditions, which we can talk about later. Own tolerance for risk. But if you are going out now, then look for a big place with few people. The reason there's one person in the restaurant that has the virus and they're unmasked because we're eating, and they have that aerosolized mist go into the air when they're speaking, then that's kind of like putting a little bit of dye into a big swimming pool. In that I'm not probably going to notice that. I'm not going to change the color of the water. Not going to make a lot of difference. But if I'm in a small pool and somebody dumps a bucket of dye, and if I'm in a baby pool, now I notice a change of color. So if I'm in a small restaurant or a small room that is not well ventilated, now that aerosolized mist can build up. And now I have a greater chance of transmission because while it's aerosolized and we know we can get it from that, we think that researchers, not like I'm personally studying this, but the latest research shows that maybe we need more of it. So we would need more mist hanging in the air for us to be able to breathe enough in to get sick. If that's actually the thing making us sick, if it's not actually droplets.
You got a mild dose or a heavier dose, or you get depending on how much you inhale. So now we're getting off into heavy duty disease talk here, but just for restaurant customers. So look for some place that's quiet. Look for some place that's kind of empty. I talk about patios now because I've told people your number one choice is always a patio. If you have to go inside, go someplace quiet and empty. But talk about patios and why that is different and how much different or safer it is.
Well, but patios are different because there's a breeze. You're outdoors. And so when you breathe out that aerosolized mist that we talk about, it's taken away in the breeze. You're not going to, it's very unlikely that you're going to be infected by that. So that's one thing that we need to keep in mind. So patios, look for, choose to dine outside if you can. Another thing I would look for is, are the servers wearing masks? That's important for two reasons. First, of course, is the simple reason that masks can prevent transmission of virus. But the other reason is because it's a sign that the restaurant is compliant. And that's important. If they're compliant with the mask order, they're compliant with other orders too. So that's very important. We want to make sure that also, if you look at the kitchen staff, are they wearing masks? And if you can see the kitchen staff, most importantly, are they spaced 6 feet apart? That was really one of the only changes in the new restaurant guidelines from what previously had been published, is that kitchen staff should be 6 feet apart. So that's something else to look for. And I would also look for touchless opportunities. I would look for touchless ordering. I would look for menus that don't require a physical menu that you touch, but menus you can look on your phone and order on the phone, or that you can look at the menu on the phone and then tell the server your order. I would look for touchless payment options. We're seeing more and more touchless options in restaurants now, and that's very important, and I definitely look for touchless options. Does it decrease transmission? But also, it's another sign the restaurant is very concerned about transmission and trying to do everything they can to decrease transmission.
Yeah, Steve, we went to Esperanza's the other day and sat on the patio for lunch, and they had the code on the menu. You just hold your phone over the code, and the menu comes up. So you didn't even have to look at a menu. Steve, I don't know where you've been out or done pickup. I couldn't believe the other day I went to Taco Bell. I never go to Taco Bell, but the line was too long at Whataburger, and I thought, well, I'll just go through here. They had just an amazing setup. They don't touch the bag. They don't touch your credit card. They really are trying hard to have a touchless experience at Taco Bell. And this is not a promotion for food at Taco Bell. Steve, what's your experience been in getting takeout or in ordering out?
Yeah, I'm actually in one of the more high-risk groups right now. So we've been extra careful about ordering stuff out. And some of the restaurants, my Whataburger, I can order from the app, so I don't have to transfer money or anything. And you can do the drive-through, and you just drive. There's 2 lanes, and you drive through the second lane and pull up, and they just bring the bag to your car. And then there's like La Bella Italian. They have a drive-through also. So I place the order with the app, and then I just drive through the drive-through and get the food out the window. And that's kind of, I've really been big on drive-throughs. Is kind of where I don't even have to get out of the car. I just, I roll the window down, they hand it to me.
I'm thrilled with drive-throughs. I'm thrilled with patios. And I just tell people, if you go inside, just, go someplace pretty empty. I like what you said about looking for masks and looking for kitchen workers wearing masks. And, because if they don't obey the rules now, the health laws now, they're not going to obey the health rules later. And so, I think that's something I've been pretty strong about this. And, the Texas Restaurant Association has been very strong in the Texas Restaurant Promise, emphasizing safe dining and safe practices. Everything that I've written about and talked about are upholding industry standards. These are things the restaurateurs themselves are writing these rules and saying, this is how we can be safe. I know that you had one other point about while you're in the restaurant, somewhere not to go, Dr. Carlson. Do you remember what you're talking about? What I'm talking about?
Sure. Yes. Try not to use the restroom. Plan accordingly, so you don't have to use the public restroom if at all avoidable. And this is true with anywhere we're going now. Speaking of those aerosolized droplets, that happens when you flush a toilet as well. So try to stay out of the restroom. That's a small, poorly ventilated space. It's everything you don't want to be exposed to right now. So try to stay out of the public restroom. That might mean changing up your beverages. That might be change how you usually consume beverages when you're out, but it's worth it to decrease the risk.
Is there anything that people have a misconception about, that people are mistaken and are worried about, that shouldn't be worried? Or is there anything at all that people are kind of a little off base about?
Well, but I would say don't worry about the food itself. So COVID-19 infection has not been linked to contaminated food. According to both the WHO and the US FDA, there was no evidence that you can catch COVID from food or food packaging. Coronaviruses can't multiply in food. It's a virus, not a bacteria. So it's not like a foodborne bacteria where, some things maybe not been cooled off correctly. There's a bacteria, the bacteria grows. It's not that. This is a virus. So if you are really, really concerned, then only order cooked food, because the virus protein, the thing that makes the virus viable, will be denatured. It'll be destroyed upon cooking it. But don't be concerned about the food. Enjoy it.
Dr. Carlson, thank you for this roundup of telling us how to pick a restaurant, what to look for, and how to dine out carefully. And most of all, dine in your car or dine on the patio. And if you do dine out, just, take a lot of precautions when you go. Steve, any other questions for Dr. Carlson?
No, I think that's it. I think I'm just going to stick to drive-through right now. And
I think it's a lot safer for all of us. Choose your dining out carefully. Don't just completely stop patronizing restaurants, because they need your business. Drive-through, pick up, take out, help them any way you can. And that's what we'll do here. And until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy.
Steve Wilson.